rules and one objective. Do not laugh. You're not allowed to giggle. You're not allowed to smile. Time to start the game.
This is our job, Jimmy.
No, we're going to change the rules now, because you said that.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the Amazon Prime TV show Last One Laughing UK. This came out fairly recently on Amazon. I didn't watch it straight away. This is one of those, if you like, that was start getting a lot of social media attention. I started seeing reels and clips of it all over social media. I'm like, what is this? What is this show? I don't know anything about it. And everyone's sort of saying, oh, it's the funniest show ever and all that kind of stuff. And then I kind of caught it on Amazon. Now, the premise behind this show, and it's 6 episodes, I think they're about 40 minutes each episode, something like that. And the premise is you fill a room with 10 British comedians, 10 well-known British comedians, and then you lock them in there for 6 hours, and they're not allowed to laugh. If they laugh or if they smile, if you laugh or smile for the first time, you get a yellow card. If you do it for a second time, you get a red card and you're out of the game. So the idea is, really, you've got to try and whittle them down to the last 2, and then you get your winner sort of thing. So the concept here is really unique, in my opinion. I mean, I know my understanding is they've done this show, I think, in some other countries as well. So the UK is just obviously starting to pick up on this one. And like I say, it's full of a lot of familiar faces, certainly to me, because I'm from the UK. So a lot of these faces that you see on this thing, you see on like panel shows in the UK, like 8 out of 10 Cats and Would I Lie to You and all that kind of stuff. All these panel shows that we have in the UK, like comedy panel shows that are very, very popular. The majority of these have regulars on there. So some of them are stand-up comedians. Some of them are all, whatever. They're all well known anyway in the UK. And they're all very good at what they do. Even though I'm not a personal fan of everybody that went in here, I certainly probably appreciated everybody's kind of input on the show, I suppose it's fair to say. So they're in there for 6 hours, and they've got to basically try and make each other crack, laugh and giggle. So what you get basically is people sat chatting, and then someone will throw a funny comment in there, and then you all kind of see them all kind of holding the laughs in and stuff, and it's like one of them says in there, it's like trying to hold in a fart sort of thing, because these are very, very funny people, and you've got to try and make them crack and laugh and stuff. And there's a lot of other ways you can do it as well. There's like, each of them has got their own like joker, as they call it, so they do like a mini like stage show. The idea again is to make them laugh, and you've got to kind of sit on this sofa and watch this performance that they do, which was obviously torturous for some of them. There is like an intense one-on-one battle, so you'll sit opposite each other, and then you've got to kind of talk about certain things, but you'll do it obviously in a comedic way, try and make the other person laugh. There's just it's quite clever how it does it, really. Now, clearly, this is they just basically stuck them in this room that they've obviously kitted out for this show for 6 hours. So it's a day's filming for them that has kind of been stretched out over 6 episodes. It's almost like a Big Brother house for comedians in many ways. But it was so infectious watching them trying to restrain themselves from laughing. These people that are just so inherently funny, generally anyway. And seeing some of these comedians in there, some of them who are very, very good at what they do. You've got Bob Mortimer, who is a legendary comedian in the UK from Reeves and Mortimer primarily, but he does a lot of stuff on his own now. The guy's just hilarious. You got Joe Wilkinson, who's very, very funny. Richard Ayoade, who is very, very funny. You've got the list goes on. There was a lot of funny people in there, and watching them trying to break each other in increasingly silly and funny ways just made it for me. You know what I mean? I binge watched it. I watched all of them in one night. I just couldn't stop watching it. It was just so well done. And very, very funny and very easy to watch as well. I mean, because, like I say, I know many of these and I feel very, very familiar and comfortable with them from all the stuff that they do on British TV. You know what I mean? I recognised all of them. Whether I'm a fan of all of them, I said I'm not really. But it felt very, very comfortable. And it was very, very funny because what you had as well, you had Jimmy Carr who hosted it, and you've got Rosalind Connolly, if you like, in this room, watching them, and so he's like hosting it, and he's watching it. And there's cameras on everybody, and if anybody's seen to smirk or smile, he pauses it, goes in, and then gives someone a card, sort of thing, yellow on a red card, but they're so funny. I mean, many of them had Jimmy Carr in tears of laughter with the stuff that they were doing on there, because they could laugh freely in that room while they were watching it. And if you kind of got your red card or your red card and you were rejected from the room, you went and sat in the room with Jimmy Carr, so you could just watch and enjoy the rest of it, really. So yeah, I mean, and it got quite competitive by the end as well. It was almost like, because some of them were very wily, and you were thinking, how on earth are you going to get that person to laugh? They've kind of got into the zone now, sort of thing. But they manage it. They really do manage it with just absolute hilarity, really, at times. So yeah, I mean, if you like a good laugh, I think you could do worse than this show. It is something a little bit different. I really personally enjoyed it. I hope they do more. I would be very, very interested in watching more. It's just sometimes you just want to put something on and just have a right good laugh, and this was it, really. So yeah, check out Last One Laughing UK on Amazon Prime, and of course, don't forget to check back on this channel for plenty more content very, very soon.